And Jonika, what's up? What's going on? What's up, Benny? Baby, I just wanted to come down here and run my mouth just for a little bit. You know how we do. You know how we do, baby girl. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get in here, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. Baby. What's up, Chanel, baby? I had to take a break, baby. What's up, Christine? What's up, lovely? Baby, I had to take a little break. What's up, Robin? What's going on? What's up, Smiles D? What's up, V Spencer? What's up, Aaliyah? What's up? What's up, Tia Tia? Tia Tia, why you acting like a hey? What's up, Diva? Baby, let's start at eight, baby. What's up, Bonnie? Yes. Come on, the stretch pro. What's up? I'm trying to get my body like yours, baby. It's hard though. All right. What's up, Bundle of Joy and TS? What's up, Montrez? Baby, we just gonna come down here and just get into the mess a little bit. What's up, Makeup Unity? Baby, listen, I had to take a break. Yes. What's up, Adrian and Samantha? What's up, Latanya? Rob J in the city. What a RHOBH review? Baby, I watched it last night. I'm gonna try to have it out tomorrow. I should have it out tomorrow. I'm gonna watch it again tonight and take my notes. But I did watch it last night. Um, so I should have it up tomorrow. Yeah. What's up, voluptuous Sheila? Shali? Baby, I had to take a break yesterday, baby. Y'all, listen. I had to take a break yesterday. I had to take a break from Bravo. It's too much going on. Listen, it's too much going on. Y'all know I'm sensitive. Hello? I have a very sensitive energy. So I can't have all that stuff. Baby, where are the race baiters, Bows haters, and Garcelle apologists at, baby? You trying to get started? I don't know what are the race baiters. I think Crystal, she down over with Cynthia doing a podcast. But I had to take a break yesterday. Y'all know I have a little sensitive energy. So I can't put all that stuff on me like that. So I had to take a break. Because between Bravo shows, we got Married to Medicine. I'm so happy that's over with. And then we had Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and then we have, of course, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and the mess that's happening with Real Housewives of Atlanta. And we'll get into that. Let's go ahead and just knock this story out of the way, and then we can really get into what I really want to talk about, which is Andy and his good girlfriends. So some of you, when I say I'm so happy Married to Medicine is over, girl, I just I, I almost didn't even post my review for Married to Medicine. What's up? Look out for Lauren. I almost didn't even post my review for Married to Medicine because I just felt like it was more of a rant in a way, and I was all over the place. Girl, I wasn't really paying attention to my notes because I just wanted it to be over with. At one point, I had to keep. I don't know. It was just a mess. I'm so happy Married to Medicine is over with. Okay, and that's another thing too. Sometimes I gotta get the stuff out because if I don't get it out, then I'm gonna be mad at myself because I didn't get it out. So I was like, you need to go ahead and just say what you need to say and get it over with because this is the last episode, anyways. Like we ain't gotta deal with Married to Medicine no more, at least for a half a year or to a year. So I'm done with Married to Medicine, thank God. Let's go ahead and get into this Carrie Hilson mess. So for some of you who are a tad bit younger, you may not know who Carrie Hilson is, but Carrie Hilson is a very accomplished songwriter, a singer. She's an actress. Um, a long time ago, um, she burst out on the scenes with her first, I think it was her first single, Turning Me On. You're turning me on. You're turning on. And I can back close to me. Gotta recognize what you did to me. Girl, that song. Some of y'all might not know. Like I said, girl, you gotta be a girl of a certain age to know what I'm talking about. Girl, let me tell y'all something. And I put this on my grandmother's grave. I was just listening to Carrie Hilson like last week. Girl, No Boys Allowed. I just saw somebody mention that. Girl, No Boys Allowed is probably one of the best albums that the girl slept on. I still listen to No Boys Allowed to this very day. Okay? Girl, I still listen to No Boys Allowed. Baby, Toy Soldier. Girl, give me what you want, girl. Like I don't, girl, lose control, girl, bam, bam, girl, like no more. Like the album is everything. But Carrie Hilson, baby Beyonce snatched. Baby, Beyonce snatched Kevin's voice like Elsa did Ariel, baby. Oh my God. Girl, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So, anyways, long story short, Carrie Hilson came out with a diss record. And while Beyonce's name was never mentioned, most people knew it was about Beyonce due to the lyrics. She's basically said in the lyrics, you need to go have some babies to the left, to the left. And you know, Beyonce had the song Irreplaceable, to the left, right? Everything you know about to the left. So we kind of knew what it was about. Even though I used to be the president of the Beehive Club, I never really cared about stuff like that. Like if I like your music, I like your music. So even though Keri was taking shots at Beyonce, it never really bothered me. I don't care. Like to this day, people still care because I went over to Esther's. You know I'm nosy. I went over to Esther's Instagram page and yeah, right. Like I went over to Esther's Instagram page and there are people on Esther's page now talking mess to Esther on her page. But like I never get caught up into stuff like that. Like, if I don't want to listen to you, I'm just not going to listen to you. But I'm not going to listen to you because you threw a dig at Beyonce. Or you threw a dig at Aaliyah. Or you threw a dig at A. Marie. Like Anita Baker, Tony Bragg. Like, I don't care. Like, if I like your music, I like your music. So I never, even to this day, I still can't grasp why so many people got caught up in what Keri did. I don't know. Like I said, like I'm still listening to Carrie Hilson to this day. But that's just me. So, anyways, she was on the Breakfast Club and she addressed. Now, mind you, this was back in 2009. Ow. This was back in 2009 that this happened. It is 2005. No, I'm sorry, 2025. This happened in 2009, I believe. It was a very long time ago. It was a very long time ago. It was a very long time ago. And her career just never really, people really were upset that Keri did what she did to Beyonce. And I don't know if it's because of that or because, you know, the stars didn't align for, you know, Keri to just be this mega superstar, right? Keri just wasn't the best singer. She wasn't the best dancer. But, you know, for the most part, I thought she had a package. She was, I mean, girl, we're going to be honest. We're going to be honest. Because she wasn't no worse than Rihanna. Got no shame. You know, Rihanna is big because of Rihanna's personality, ain't because of Rihanna's voice, and because she just is Janet Jackson on stage. You know what I'm saying? So, girl, we're not gonna sit here and act like we're not gonna sit here and act like you know what I'm saying. So, anyways, Keri was on the Breakfast Club, and she finally addressed in detail what happened with the song. Now, the clip that we're about to listen to, she is going to mention a producer named Polo. Polo the Don. Bitch, Polo used to be fine as hell back in the day. Do y'all remember Polo the Don? Polo the Don was one of them. Anyway, Polo the Don and Esther Dean. Okay, Esther Dean is a songwriter. Polo the Don, I think he's a songwriter too. I know he's a producer. So she went into detail about actually what happened with the song, and let's just take a listen, okay?
Problem with being an artist is that nobody believes that y'all are real people. And so when you are going through real things, nobody will take that into consideration. It's more entertaining for them to be like, Beehive ran her out of town.
Right, that's way more entertaining.
Yeah. Now, today, at this point, are you looking like when you look back at that? And people will bring it up, so I'm sure you're kind of preparing yourself for that. How do you not even explain it, but like, how do you look back on that? What are your comments on it now? So
Not
far
so
removed
much
from it.
It's a regret. It's a regret, but not in the way that people would think, because that's a song that I actually didn't write. Those are not my words. I was on tour. Polo wanted me to do a remix to Turning Me On. Mm-hmm. He had produced the record, and I wasn't, because I was on tour with Lil Wayne. I wasn't able to like lay anything down. He had been on me for a couple of weeks about we need to do a remix. Okay, so I take off. It wasn't happening quick enough for him. I take off, we fly in, and he had another writer in our camp at the time. He had her write this. So he played it for me, like, this is the remix, because I'm thinking I'm coming in to go write a remix to Turning Me On. Like, The whole time I've been writing concepts, like, but I come into the studio and he plays me this verse, and I'm like, automatically, I'm like, I'm not saying that. Mm-hmm. That was my position. So I tried to fight him on it, and I began writing my own. That's what I did with my time there. But I want to be careful with the word I use. Mm-hmm. It was quite forceful. You know what I mean?
In an executive artist
way? Yeah, in an executive artist way only. Mm-hmm. Involving others and kind of threatening my career in a sense, in a real sense. Like, you're not coming, because my album wasn't out yet. Mm-hmm. So it was like, you're not coming out if you don't do this. And the mistake that I made was not continuing to fight, but I was in tears. I was crying. I was adamant that I did not want to do that.
For people that don't know, you were signed to Polo.
I was signed to Polo and Timbaland. Yep. In a joint venture at Interscope Records.
Yep.
And, I was young. I was super young. I felt I had no power. I felt I had no choice. But I did record my version, which had nothing like that in it. It was on subject. The song is about men. And it leaked like days after I did it, but he promised me that wouldn't happen. So it leaked. And that was that. And I protected him. I protected the girl that wrote it, who went on to become famous. I protected everyone in the story. So I had to eat that. And I am still eating it to this day. But that is definitely a regret of not fighting even stronger. But again, when your career is on the line and they make it that be the way that you perceive the situation, not perceive, but it was pretty clear. But when you're that young, you're just kind of like,
maybe they know better than me.
Right.
Yeah. What's the Timbaland answer?
I think he just went because they were partners. I think he just went along, but I don't remember that we involved him or that he was involved at all, because he hadn't produced that record. But I wonder now, I would love to ask him, like, what did you think about that? What I do know is he went on to work with B and J,
so did Polo,
and tour with him, and so did Polo. And I would say Keri, the human, was looking at Carrie Hilson, the artist, like, you deserve that shit. You should have fought harder. You know? I understood it. I got it.
Give yourself grace, though.
Yeah,
well, it's tough to do, because I that's something that I held on to. Not again.
Girl, every time we're together. It's okay. I got you, sis.
But
Lauren, her wig smells like honey.
First of all,
thank you for making
whatever makes you laugh.
Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm. That was.
I can't say it wasn't true though.
Y'all are crazy. But that is what give myself grace. Yeah. I do now. I do. I have forgiven myself. But that's what it goes back to, the shame that I felt for so long. So I just felt like that was such an ungraceful mistake to make, or to be forced to do. And to not stand up for myself. That was the shame that I wore. Was like, I should have fought harder. I should have fought harder. I should never have done it. I should never have recorded that. I should have outed them well before now. I should have, you know what I mean? And I still am protecting the writer, because I feel like she might have been doing what she was told to do. I hope that.
I think that's the one problem with.
So that's a part of the clip. It's just sad because, it's sad because you got the niggas in the background really pitting these women against each other. Y'all be thinking these niggas ain't messy. Girl, these niggas be messy. Girl, the niggas be messy. And I will always hold space for men and women who are trying to live out their dreams, and right when you're about to grab it, somebody swipes your hand, and then you're put in this situation where, especially if you don't have any power in the situation, right? It's one, like, now, like, if you're a Beyonce, especially now, more than likely you might have one or two people who might try Beyonce, but for the most part, Beyonce's name is heavy enough that people might not try her this because she's Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Compared to somebody who's fresh and new, you know, and even sometimes then, look at Terrence Howard with his trifling self. He was saying how Puff Daddy would call him and look at him like he's a woman. That nigga, he looking at me like I'm a woman. Baby. Anyways, I just, Keri, made a decision. I think that people should hold space for Keri and realize that Keri was young and this was her shot to come out with her album. And the people are telling her, girl, if you don't sing this, you're not coming out with your album. And because you hear about these stories, especially with these men behind the scenes, girl, they have enough power to try and ruin you. So I can understand how sometimes these people get in these scenarios where it's really tough for them, right? Again, it never really bothered me. I listen to the song and then I turn around and listen to Beyonce. I turn around and listen to Keri. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like that, and that's the thing. Like, she was like, people have to take into account that she's young. Like, this is not that wasn't some 40-year-old woman. This was somebody new to the music industry, or at least coming out with their debut album. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Keri. Her album, I think, comes out in April. Oh, it is April. Let me see. I think her album is about to come out. I be so behind. I don't realize. Let me see when her album comes out. Her new album comes out. Oh, April the 18th. Girl, I already got it downloaded, baby. Hello? Girl, you know what's so crazy? While I was just over here listening to Beyonce, I forgot. I Miss You, girl. That's my song, girl. Beyonce, I Miss You. Baby, I was just listening to that song. Just listening to it in the car. So yeah, her new album comes out April the 18th. I already have it downloaded, baby. Look at that check. Hello? We mess with, listen, I fool with Miss Keri, baby. Miss Keri, baby. Girl, I fool with Miss Keri, baby. When I tell you Carrie Hilson is gorgeous, baby, Carrie Hilson, baby, Carrie Hilson got a mug on her. When I tell you, baby, that Carrie Hilson got a mug on her, baby, I said, oh, baby, Carrie Hilson. She said, sit down and have babies. Meanwhile, 10, 15 years later, she's crying on Twitter about being unmarried and having no man and kids. Ooh, she was. Now, I ain't gonna, reflection eternal. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I've looked at, Keri got, I'm gonna leave Keri alone. But yeah. It's unfortunate, but you have to have a hit record. Can't nobody cancel you, though. Look at Chris Brown. Mm. But I also think, too, that men, I hate to say it. I think that sometimes men get more passes than women. I do. Because for a lot of people, Chris Brown was a victim. People will tell you Rihanna was beating on Chris' ass in the car. Okay. So, also, I have to say this, then we have to move on. Because I don't want to be on her too long. Here we go. Okay, look at Chrisette Michelle. Esther Dean. Oh, so Esther Dean came out and exposed herself. Esther Dean was in the comments section, and someone put the writer was definitely Esther Dean. And then someone put and was, and then she responded and she put and did. It was a hit. So Esther Dean was the person who actually confirmed that she was the one who wrote the song. Because as you can tell, as you remember, at least in that clip, she didn't mention Esther's name. She did mention Polo's. So Esther came out and said, I submitted a lot of verses for that remix. One got picked, and it was co-written with Keri. So she said Keri co-wrote the song. Looking back, it was childish and it didn't age well. I see how it hurt people, especially women, and I take full accountability. I've worked with and supported many women since, but that doesn't erase the moment. I'm sorry for my part in it. Growth is real, and so is this apology. Girl, Keri heard what she just said, so Keri just came back. Keri just wrote this in the Shade Room, posted it, okay? This is what Keri responded to Esther Dean. She put, Dean, I personally don't think this is our fight to have. I respected you on this matter for 16 years and attempted to do that again yesterday while finally expressing the truth when asked. But since you're coming to the table, let's be clear. You used the word co-wrote. I rewrote 3 lines in your verse, which was the only battle I won in the whole matter. But you weren't there when all of this was going down, and we didn't write it together. These lines are mine. Been getting dollars, boy. Gon' get your money up. Not you ain't the only homie on me. Line up. The softest section. Lines about a boy, because not only did I strongly disagree with the unnecessary hateful sentiments towards other women, I've never been a fan of the publicity stunt method. I also argued in my trail of attempts that this verse isn't even on subject with the original song. When you really on some real shit, they really didn't have nothing to do with the original song. They really did. Which is how I even got those 3 lines on the remix. They were taken from the ideas, lines in my phone that I mentioned in the full interview. You chose to stay quiet for 16 years, but coming out only now when you felt a portion of the heat I've gotten all this time. Girl, and quiet as this kept, Keri didn't even mention her name. Elsa is the one who wanted to get in the comment section bragging about writing the song. I really wasn't even going to discuss this anymore, but in that interview, we talked about the backlash of not speaking up for yourself. So I just want to finally clear the air respectfully. For those who only watched the clip, I suggest you watch the full interview, love. So that's what Keri had to say in response to Esther. Esther, girl, you the one who came out bragging about you writing the song in the comment section. Keri never even said your name. It is what it is. All right, y'all. So what else? What else is going on? Oh, Miss Andy Cohen and Watch What Happens Live co-host discuss Kenya's RP type of attack on Britt Eady. So let's listen to what Andy and his homegirls had to say down to the podcast. And we're gonna get into it. So let's listen to Miss Andy and his sisters. That's the patriarchy. Women get 3 strikes at the most. Happens in entertainment and sports. Thank you, Shay W.
What happened is that Britt made a comment at the end of last week's episode, like, I have a gun and a whip, or something like that.
I saw that.
And on this week's episode, they all said to Britt that you can't.
Right then and there, I feel like he's trying to dismiss what Britt did. I don't like it. I don't like it. Now listen, we're not gonna be on here too long, even though I poured me a whole glass of wine. Let me sip on this wine, baby. Mm. Mm. Oh, man. Mm. Oh, girl. Oh, girl, Kenya coming out with a video. Oh, Kenya coming out with her. Oh, Tuesday, April the 15th, 2000. Girl, my sister just sent me this. Oh, girl. Oh. Oh, baby. Let me get in her comment section. Oh, no, that's right. Hold up, baby. Girl, oh, baby. Breaking news, baby. Miss Kenya Moore, she just posted this 5 minutes ago. Look, here we go, baby. Girl, confessionals in my words. YouTube. Official Kenya Moore, Tuesday, April the 15th, 2025. Baby, oh, baby, this is just in, baby. We got breaking news. We got breaking news, baby girl. Let's go ahead. Let me start this over, baby. I don't like the way Andy is low-key being dismissive.
What happened is that Britt made a comment at the end of last week's episode, like, I have a gun and a whip, or something like that.
I have a gun and a whip or something like that. Girl, you know what she said. And why are you trying to be so dismissive of what she said? As if that's not a big deal. Because it is.
I saw that.
And on this week's episode, they all said to Britt that you can't say that shit. And she was like, yeah, you're right. You know, whatever. She shows up to Kenya's opening of her.
No, she wasn't like, yeah, you're right, whatever. This is what she was like. It's never a good feeling being targeted or hazed by someone I thought would embrace me into a new circle that I never met. For the record, I've never once had possession of any weapons or threatened anyone ever. I've never been to jail in a fight or even had so much as a speeding ticket. That's not in my character. I'm hurt by the narrative that's being displayed. Wrong is wrong. That's what she said. That's what she actually said. That's what she said. She said it was a lie. And that it didn't happen. All right. All right.
What happened?
We gotta tell the truth. We gotta tell the truth and shame the devil.
Shit. And she was like, yeah, you're right. You know, whatever. She shows up to Kenya's opening of her gorgeous salon, which is beautiful, that Kenya has worked so hard on, that she dedicated to her daughter. And it's this big event opening it with all these people there. And Britt comes in and brings her flowers and says, I want to apologize to you, and a note. And Kenya totally ignores her, like totally. And Britt's like, okay, I'm just going to leave these here. And Britt leaves. And then Kenya gets up and makes her whole opening about someone came after me and they shouldn't have. And I started looking into who this woman is, and this is who she is. And she starts showing pictures of her.
With like poster board that she printed
And this
out.
is like
one of the pictures is
revenge
her.
porn type.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the pictures is her
oral sexing.
Yeah. And so, and the Atlanta Housewives are like, we're out. We don't want any. The place like clears out.
Yeah.
And then there's and Cynthia said in all my time at the show, this is the lowest I've ever seen anything.
Girl, the place did not clear out. Porsha left, Shamia left. Girl, the place did not clear out. Girl.
Yeah. And
now, what is this glitter bracelet you have on underneath?
What is glitter tape? Ben put it on me. He covered me in
Sorry, it's very eye-catching and beautiful.
I know, it actually is. It's glitter tape.
I like it. It's diamond.
For Ben, yeah.
I like
I have glitter tape everywhere.
Babies.
Yeah.
Put it around the
And girl, if we're gonna be honest, girl, the day was over. Girl, the sun had went down. Bitch, it was damn near nighttime. It was damn near nighttime. Girl, we gonna be honest, girl, the event was over, girl. Girl, it's time to go anyways. So even if it did clear out, girl, it's closing time. Girl, when I tell you Andy, that's a sneaky queen. Andy is a sneaky queen.
Oh my God. Anyway, so that's what, and then there's a slide at the end of the show that says, Bravo stopped filming with Kenya after this.
Well, you know what they say, like, there's all this talk of, after the Me Too movement, it's like if you show someone a dick pic or a nude pic without them saying, yes, I would like to see that right now, that's like sexual assault. You can't just go around being like, hey, someone did it to me the other day. I was at a workout class and they were like, hey, look at this guy from last night. And I was like, I didn't ask to see that right now.
Right. Yes, Jordan?
Well, I was going to say, the bad part of it and the sad part of it was that, like you said, it was Kenya's opening of her store that she worked so hard for, and that it's been Kenya Moore hair care for years. Yes. And it was like a big moment for her.
Why
and
did she do that?
She should have been celebrating herself, but instead she used the time to do revenge porn and bring somebody else down. And at the end of the day, it was such a bad look for Kenya.
Yeah, why would
she
do that?
sabotaged herself and her business.
Yeah. What's she thinking?
Jody from Minneapolis, what did you think?
Yeah, hi. Also, I'm just so proud of Bravo and how they handled it, and all the housewives that left after Kenya showed it. It was so trashy, and it was so negative and ugly, and I don't know, I think a few years ago not all the wives would have left after that, but I'm really proud that they all left. And Britt making that comment about the guns and the whips, I don't know, I didn't feel like it was totally like, I'm gonna go kill you, Kenya. I think it was just her talking smack, and oh my gosh, Kenya just took it way too far. Yes. And on a side note, I saw Luann. She was in town here on Saturday night, and she was so fabulous. We had just the best time with her. So great. We saw Sonia a couple months ago. Not the same experience. Yes. So glad Luann is just doing so great. So
thanks, Jody. Appreciate it.
Love you guys.
Thanks. Lou and I were texting all weekend about a variety of things. She was lit up. She was really fun. What happened is that Britt made a comment.
Kenya came out to say in the, I think under the post that the Neighborhood Talk wrote, this is what Kenya had to say. The two co-hosts are extremely ignorant. Sexual assault is RAPE. Remember, that's what Phaedra accused Kendi of attempting to do to Porsha. Oh. Whoa, baby. The two co-hosts are extremely ignorant. SA is RAPE. Oh, she had fun with Luann, who did Black Girl. Oh, come on. Oh, she had fun with Luann, who did Black Girl Face. Come on. Remember, that's what Phaedra accused Kendi of attempting to do to Porsha. RP, if someone showed Kim K sex tape to you, is that RP? I found that plus tons others online. She signed a release for it, so it's fair. Receipt. Warning, if you are not an attorney and familiar with Georgia law, then shut the F up. Sick of the bias and selective outrage. These comments should have not been aired. It's a podcast. Where is legal? You don't want activated Kenya. I shouldn't have shown at my event, but for the love of God, why would they ignore a clear gun threat? Everything that Kenya did, I don't agree with, okay? Let me be very clear. Oh, hold up. I missed a super chat, baby. Hold up. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Kay Travels. Andy said in several articles that he felt threatened and feared violence from Croy when he brought a gun to RHOA's reunion, and it was in the car. Why can't Kenya feel the exact same way? Thank you, K Travels, because white people like to play games, and we about to go there tonight. Shout out to all the white people. Shout out to all the black people. Shout out to all the Asians, Hispanics, Latinos, the everybody, girl, no matter race, ethnicity, or nationality. Shout out to everybody. One thing we not gonna do is play this game as if what Brit did, it shouldn't have been a consequence. So do Caucasian people see gun threats differently? Apparently, they live in a world of this can't happen to me. Thank you, TS. I can guarantee you, and I said this the other night, and I'm going to say it again. If Brit had pulled that stunt with Sutton, Kyle Richards, Kathy Hilton, bitch, even Terry Dubrow, we would have never even known there was a housewife by the name of Brit Eady, because she would have been gone. She would have been gone. It wouldn't have been no ifs, ands, buts about it. It wouldn't have been no ifs, ands, buts about it. Like I also said the other night, it's totally disgusting how the gun threats are being minimized, seeing how ATL is a hotspot of gun violence, especially to Black women and children. For all we know, Bridget could be affiliated with Young Thug. Come on. I said this the other night. If you have watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills this season, they are having a fit. And you had Erica Jane telling Sutton it's beneath you that she called Dorit basically a broke bitch. Start at A, you're getting a divorce, you're getting a divorce, you're getting a divorce. Bitcoin was mad because she felt dismissed and rejected, and she created a one-sided beef that led to a hostile environment. Thank you, Erica De Niro TV. You can't even call a housewife broke. You can't even call the White Housewife broke. You can't even call a White Housewife broke without it being a discussion that lasts for days. You can't even call a housewife broke, a white one. Bravo wants to use a morality police. Why even show the scene? It should have been left on the cutting room floor. They wanted ratings. They didn't have a disclaimer for the viewers watching. Thank you, Sweet Unique 88. So there's no way that anyone is going to get me to believe that if Brit Eady said, let's go back to some of what she said. If Brit Eady told Kyle Richards or Kathy Hilton, I still got my pistol. So regardless, I had to let that bitch know. Don't play with me. Kathy, her little ditzy ass. Like, bitch, play that shit in front of the cameras. Don't play with me. I don't play those games. I got whips and pistols, everything. Let's switch out another name. Girl, I had to let that bitch know. Don't play with me, Kyle, her little ditzy ass. I got whips and pistols, everything. Let's switch out another name. Don't play with me, Sutton, her little ditzy ass. How y'all think the shit would have went because she said Kenya? But how y'all think it would have went if she would have said Kathy Hilton? I got whips and pistols and everything. They had Monica Garcia kicked off of the show because they felt like Monica was bullying them online. Let me repeat this again. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City had Monica Garcia kicked off of the show because they felt like she was behind a blog that was bullying them. They told them they wouldn't even film with her if she came back. And that was that lady's first and last season. Because they found out that she was supposedly behind Vita Von Teese, whatever the blog name was, and she had something to do with it. And that was enough for them to get her ass up out of there. Reality Von Teese, thank you. It's about all of it. It's about all of it. It's about you moving the line for certain people. Because you can't sit here and say that it's not about, you can't sit here and say that it wouldn't be an issue if it was a white people. The fact of the matter is her mentioning a gun is a big deal. Because if you're going to get a housewife out of the picture for a blog, then you definitely will get a bitch out the picture for mentioning a gun. Also, if she mentioned a gun with those white hoes in Beverly Hills, y'all will get that bitch out the picture too. So we can't pretend that it's not about the gun, because it is. And also depending on the race and the class. Come on. I'm going to say it and I'm not going to take it back. Bravo has an issue with strong dark women. Example, Kenya, Candace, and Quad. Women that are strong and smart and can hold their own, not victims. Thank you, Lisa Mooney. You had people ready to chop Candace off at the knees because she said, yo mama. So if y'all can be so out, I'm talking to the viewers now. If the viewers can be so outraged because Candace said yo mama, then how the fuck you not outraged because somebody mentioned pistols and whips? The same ones were pissed off that Candace called Giselle a white woman, even though Giselle said out of her own mouth that she could pass for a white person. They both should have gotten punished. That's all I'm saying. Bravo is wishy-washy, which makes the audience not see that they both were wrong. Come on, Gabby. Girl, people had a fit because Candace called Giselle a white woman. All I'm saying is if we can see the wrong in saying yo mama, if we can see the wrong in saying you look like a white woman, if we can see the wrong in girl, you shouldn't be on this show because you were behind a blog and girl, you fucked up our lives. If we know for a fact if Britt Edie would have pulled that stunt with those white girls in Beverly Hills, New York, Miami, she would be off the show. Didn't Andy admit he told Brandy he would have a threesome with her and another castmate? All Kenya had to do was drop the lawsuits against him. Thank you, Nitwit. And if Kenya pulling the Kim Fields chair was so bad, why isn't a veiled threat of gun violence? Thank you, Diva. That's what I'm saying. I see so many people saying, Kenya pulled out Kim Fields' chair. Girl, if you can understand that pulling the chair is supposed to be so horrible, then how do you not understand bringing up a gun threat at work is also, girl, even worse. Girl. I think that what happens is when you dislike people, you start to move the line, and your integrity is compromised. Girl. Kenya starting a YouTube channel for her confessionals. Thank you, Angie Winston. Cousin got the facts out tonight. Should I bring the receipts, baby? Thank you, D-Rich2279. I don't like what Kenya did. I don't like what Kenya did. Let me say it again. I don't. But I don't care. And the reason why I don't care is because Bravo has a way of letting certain things go. This person might be punished. This person might not be. This person might be punished. This person might not be. Yes, Kenya pulled a stunt. If this is foul behavior, why bring back frack? Because they don't care. Thank you, Vanity. Because they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. This is just to stick it to Kenya. Because they really don't care. Because when Joe Gorga was down there passing around a video of Danielle fucking on camera, because I saw the video now I saw the video making its rounds on Twitter. When Joe Gorga was passing around a video of Danielle Stobbs fucking on camera, did they suspend Joe Gorga and all the other husbands? And he was passing around a video. Isn't that the same thing? The only difference is it's the husbands versus the people, the audience, the people that were at the shop. But he still has a video, Pat, talking about, look, let's look at the video. I saw that with my own eyes the other day. Hello? 2 words, Vanderpump Rules. Thank you, Scarlett J. All I'm saying is you need to be fair. And y'all are not fair. Not y'all. I'm talking about Bravo. Bravo running things like CK Bravo running things like CK Productions. Thank you, Gabby. No, New Jersey is not on, but it didn't get canceled after that either. Was it still on after they passed that video around? I think it was. Did Jersey get canceled or anybody get fired after Joe did what he did? Because I'm almost sure Joe didn't get fired after that. And I'm almost sure Jersey still stayed on. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. They didn't get canceled? Okay. I didn't think so. Did people get fired? Did Joe get fired? Let me know. No? Okay, that's what I was thinking. But they're out of work now and broke due to the women not getting along, not because of revenge porn, not because of showing somebody's sex tape to a group of men on the show. That's why they're out of work and broke. Because the bitches can't get along. Not because Joe decided to pass around a video of one of the castmates getting fucked on camera. Be very clear. Again, I have to keep saying this. I don't like what Kenya did. I don't. But I also feel like we have to start at A, and people are not starting at A. Hell, we can even start at B, but people want to start at K. We can't start at K. We're going to have to start at A. We have to start at A. And A is Britt coming onto the show, fucking with Kenya. Wanting to have an issue with Kenya. Playing in that lady's face. If the gun threat wasn't so serious, why did Truly Original feel the need to lie about releasing a false statement? The hypocrisy is very loud. Thank you. Like, people don't like to start at the beginning of the story. I want people to stop starting in the middle of a book. We can't start in the middle of the book and get the full picture. We got to start at chapter 1. And quiet as this kept, we got to start at the dedication if we're gonna be honest on in some of these books. In the same way that Kenya was put on pause, Bethany Edison should have also been put on pause. I did, baby. Hold up. Girl, did I? Oh, girl, I think I read them all. New Jersey Housewives, white women actually fighting. Thank you, Scarlett J. Did I thought I read them all. What did it say? Oh, shit. What did it say? Ooh. I just think that people, they need to be fair. That's it. I call Porsha a pink Power Ranger. Okay. 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 I just think it's a mess. Ooh, wee. It's just a mess, that's all. Baby. I'm just saying, y'all. I just think fair is fair, and clearly they don't believe in being fair. I don't even think some of the viewers believe in being fair, because people are trying to sweep what Brit did under the rug as if it's not that big of a deal. Because we're not going to act like we don't have evidence of gun violence happening on reality shows before, because it has. Again, example, Love and Hip Hop Houston. It's a reason why we never got Love and Hip Hop Houston, because there was a threat of violence when it comes to guns. So we need to stop playing this game as if it can't happen. And the truth of the matter is, if Kenya would have decided to engage with Brit and really gave her a show, we don't know what would have happened. We don't. Kenya didn't give her what she wanted. So Brit was just arguing with herself. But if Kenya would have gave her what she wanted, we don't know what would have happened. But we do know for a fact that Brit did threaten Kenya with a gun. And that right then and there should have been nipped in the bud. Joe Gorga walked up on Cam D and balled his fist up. Thank you, Isma. And because people don't like Kenya, or because people say that Kenya is the villain, they say, oh, she's getting what she deserves. Or, oh, she pulled out Kim Field's chair. I'm going to say something, and I'm going to take it back. I think that it sounds absolutely stupid as fuck for people to grasp or say that pulling out someone's chair is horrible, but you can't understand the severity of somebody bringing up pistols and whips in an argument. That right then and there lets me know that, girl, you just don't like Kenya and you're grasping at straws. Because you're not going to sit here and tell me pulling somebody's chair is on the same level as somebody threatening somebody with a goddamn pistol and whip. Girl, y'all not even gonna get me believe no shit like that. You're just not. You're just not. Instead of just saying Brit was dead ass wrong and she should have been handled right then and there. People say, oh, skip over that. Kenya was wrong for showing the pictures. Yes, Kenya was wrong for showing those pictures at her salon. But we just can't dismiss what Brit did to lead up to, girl, the art show. Kenya said, girl, this is a girl. We're having an art show today. What's up, Carlos? Kenya said, we're having an art show today. Because I can guarantee you, I can guarantee you that if you heard of an argument between a man and a woman, and you heard a man tell a woman, I got pistols and whips for bitches like you, you would not be screaming the same thing. I can guarantee you that if you heard a man tell a woman in the midst of an argument, I got whips and pistols for bitches like you, y'all would not be down to the internet screaming what y'all screaming. If it's wrong across the board. Bravo. What's up, the Shaq Show? Bravo citing a code of conduct but got a WWE wrestler in Porsha. Baby! Bravo citing a code of conduct but got a WWE wrestler in Porsha and Phaedra on the cast. Also, Britannica joining RHOA as a former cam girl is crazy. Her heart's teeth bit off more than she could chew. Thank you, the Shaq Show. Baby! Come on, WWE wrestler, because that's what she's giving. That's exactly what she's giving. I ain't really got nothing else to say. I just want it to be. I just don't like, and this is not even starting with Kenya. I just don't like when it's not. It's literally like you being at your job, and I get that this is not like a real job in comparison to the jobs that most of us worked or have work or work, right? We know that this is not like a typical job, but it still does not take away from the fact that this is still a job. No, it is not your typical job. It's not. They get to do a whole lot of more shit than what we get to do at ours. But it is still a job nonetheless. You are hired, you can quit, you can get fired. There's a human resources, you have managers and supervisors. Like, it's still a job. And I think that's the thing that people are leaving out of the conversation. Because people are quick to talk about who got fired. Well, how can you get fired if it wasn't a job? I think that this is the thing. I think that Kenya could have been scared. Now, I also understand why some people may say that her reaction to it doesn't show that she's scared. I don't think that's necessarily true. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of if a woman fights back, then people will say that she's not in a domestic violence situation. Like, I think that some people think that the only way, not to go off to the left, but I think that some people think the only way a woman can be in a DV situation is if she is balled up getting her ass stomped. If she fights back, then it's not domestic violence. Y'all just fighting each other. No, you can still be in a DV situation and not be just laying on corner getting your ass whooped. You could still be scared. I could still be scared and go get my gun and come out and start shooting. Do you know what I'm saying? Why did Kenya deserve to be? What did Kenya do to deserve to be threatened? Come on. Like if you threaten somebody and they go in their house and get their gun, does that mean that they're not scared? You could still be scared and still engage in the shit. You can be scared. You can be scared and still engage in the shit. Because there were so many people online saying how Kenya was scared that night, and that's why she wasn't saying anything. At this point, it is what it is. Rob is real hypocritical. They played Danielle from New Jersey tape on the show and showed her naked pics, and no one got in trouble. That's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. People don't care. People just care that it's Kenya. That's it. That's it. People will get, let me tell you something. People will get more pissed off at Garcelle for saying all skin folk ain't kinfolk. People are more pissed off. We'll get more pissed off at Garcelle for saying all skin folk ain't kinfolk, but won't get mad at Brittany for bringing up guns and pistols. I be telling y'all, the shit is weird. We can find blame. We can find blame in every scenario except for this one. Rodney, honest question. Would you rather have someone beat your ass on camera or leak a paywall pics of you sucking on national TV? Just curious. Girl, probably sucking dick on camera. Girl, the fact of the matter is the pictures are already. Can I just say something? And I don't know how love theory. It's one thing if the pictures were private of me and somebody and those got leaked. If I am a porn star, I don't know if Britt was a porn star or not, but it sounds like based off of some of the things that I saw, it sounds like Britt was in the industry. I don't know, girl. But it's almost like a porn star getting upset. Girl, like you, girl, the pictures already, girl, we already seen you. Like, this is not like you in a room with just your man. Girl, you are, I don't know. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty of it. Mm-mm. Like I think some people are trying to paint this as if I think that some people are trying to paint this as if this was just a private moment between Britt and her man. And it could be, we're still trying to figure it out. But from my understanding, Britt was someone who was a part of the adult industry. I don't know. From my understanding. So girl, it's like a man or a woman being a hoe in 2010, and then you got stuff out there, and now all of a sudden your stuff from black breeders and breed it raw. Come on, the gays know what I'm talking about. Hello. But now all your shit from XTube and My Vista, it comes up. Come on, black breeders and breed it raw. Come on, bitch. and X2 and my Vista and play the roles. Okay, come on, bitch. Come on, brothers. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Harlem hookups. You know what I'm saying, girl? But girl, they shut my Vista down. Girl, I almost had a fit. Girl, they shut my Vista down, girl. They did. So all I'm saying is, it's like you being on something like that, and then all of a sudden, girl, boyfriend TV still around. Okay, thank God. But girl, it's like being on something like that, and then it's coming back to come on, Dog Pound USA. Oh, come on. Okay, Poppy Thugs. Okay, come on. It is what it is. Your shit is out there. But again, we gonna figure it out. But you know, the level that Kenya dragged her shows how she didn't feel protected. She ran for Marlo a few seasons ago, and Marlo was the victim. She took matters into her own hands. Thank you, Lisa Mooney. People don't want to say that Kenya is a victim because Kenya has been deemed the villain of the show. So of course, what Beyoncé says, playing victim and the villain at the same time. So people will never look at Kenya as a victim because she's already been deemed as a villain, even though the fact of the matter is the real villain is Porsha Williams. I've been saying that for years. So when it comes to Kenya will never be given the benefit of the doubt because, bitch, you pulled Kim Field's chair back. You know what I'm saying? You yelled at Porsha through a bullhorn. You pointed a scepter at Porsha. You can't be the villain. It is what it is. I'm sorry. If you a hoe, you a hoe, and that's just what it is. If you a hoe, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and I'm not taking it back. If you a hoe and you know you got a pass and you don't want that pass to come up, then bitch, you ain't got no business getting on TV threatening nobody with a goddamn gun. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. If you know you got some dirt on you, stop going around here fucking with people. If you know you a hoe, I don't care if you are a sex worker, I don't give a damn. If you know you a hoe and you don't want nobody to know you a sucking dick for $9.99 a month, then you ain't got no business fucking with nobody. If you fuck with somebody, they may show or tell the people that you was sucking dick for $15.99 a month. It is what it is. It is what it is. If you don't fuck with nobody, then I ain't got no reason to expose you for being a hoe. Now, I don't know if that's her story. I'm just speaking in general. I'm talking about boys and girls. Take Brit out of it. We ain't even gonna talk about Brit. If you knew you were selling puss virtually, or selling dick virtually, or selling bussy virtually for $9.99 a month, $5.99 a month, then don't come into a scenario fucking with nobody if you don't want that shit to come out. That's it. That's it. You was a hoe on the internet. The niggas want to open their legs and dildo and fuck themselves. That's all fine and dandy. Do what you gonna do. But you cannot come into a scenario. I'm talking about boys and girls, trans women, everybody. Gay, straight, bi, it don't matter. Stop fucking with people if you know you got a pass and you don't want that pass to come out. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's it. Baby, we already said we saw Kenya coming down on the 15th, baby. Or bring it up yourself. Because let me say something. I'm not shaming a sex worker or someone who has to do what they have to do in order to survive. I'm not mad at it. That ain't never been my story, but I'm not mad at it. And I wouldn't treat anybody differently. But the point that I'm trying to make is if you know you have that past, if you know you have that attached to you and you're not ready to tell your story, the last thing you need to do is come into a scenario fucking with somebody. especially in a scenario like this where the girls always go look for dirt, or people text them, email, direct message, send smoke signals about the dirt. Because that's what happens in all these scenarios. Y'all don't think when Karen was down there talking about, oh girl, it's a girl running around here who looked just like me, who Juan Dixon fucking with? Who y'all think told her that? The girls already said people coming to their DMs telling them tea. They've already told us this 1,000 times. They've already told us this. Again, I don't like what Kenya did. I don't. And even when it happened, I actually felt bad for Brittany, but believe it or not. I was like, damn. In that moment, I actually did feel bad for the girl. Even I was disgusted, like, oh, Kenya, girl, Kenya, why you do this? But when it's all said and done, we're not going to start at letter K. We're going to start at A and work our way on up. The reaction, some people will say, is bigger than the action, depending on who you ask. That's what you're saying, Aaliyah, until I threaten you with a gun or a whip. That's what you're saying until somebody threaten you with a pistol or a whip. Girl, y'all saying it, okay? Y'all saying that until the motherfucker threaten you with a pistol or a whip. Then the rules change. Then the rules gonna change, baby. But that's the thing. And that's the thing, Aaliyah. If you would have called the police, you would have called the police because somebody just threatened you with a gun, which means it's a problem. That's the point. Are we catching on now? You would have called the police because it's a problem. Somebody just threatened me with a gun. Girl. So why are we trying to act like it's not a problem if we would get the police involved? Getting the police involved means that it's an issue. That's the whole point. That's the point. I'm glad you said I will call the police because it's that big of a deal. We will get the police involved because it's that serious of an action. No, Kenya didn't do that, but it does not take away from the severity of what happened. Just because that when y'all start talking about you didn't call the police, that y'all start going down this rabbit hole. Oh, because you didn't call the police, you didn't get raped. Because you didn't call the police, you didn't get your ass whooped. Just because somebody does not call the police does not take away from the severity of what just happened. It just doesn't. You don't have to call the police for you to understand that what just happened was severe. That's it. Not getting the police involved does not take away from anything. I know, baby, y'all don't have to explain to me that she should have called the police. The point that I'm trying to make is a simple fact that y'all are saying that the police should have been involved also means that you have to acknowledge the severity of the situation. You cannot sit here and say that the police should have been involved or called without acknowledging the severity of the situation. That is the point. Y'all are not realizing what y'all are saying. I understand what y'all are saying. I don't think y'all are listening to what y'all are saying. The police should have been involved because of what? Because of the severity of the situation. And if that's the case, Britt should have got her ass fired too. I'm late to the stream, but did you hear that Porsha said on her YouTube today that a current housewife gave Kenya the pics? Baby, I don't know, chat. I ain't watched her thing. I ain't watched Porsha's stuff. Like, would you call the police because, girl, somebody just stepped on your foot? Would you call the police if somebody stepped on your brand new shoes that you just bought today? Would you call the police if somebody accidentally wasted a drink on your dress at the club? Would you call the police if somebody accidentally hand went into your hair? Would you call the police? No, because calling the police, girl, you're not going to call the police over getting your shoes stepped on. You're not going to call the police because you're in the club and somebody accidentally or spilled their drink on you. Because most people will say, girl, are you really calling the police because somebody stepped on your goddamn shoes? But the simple fact that so many people in this comment section saying that she should have called the police, then y'all cannot take away from the situation. And that scenario, both things, you can't say it's not severe, but also say call the police. What? It's not severe, but she should have called the police. Call the police for what if it's not that bad? If it's not that bad, there's no reason to get the police involved, unless it's that bad. Baby, did I tell y'all I signed my girl, this is so off the subject. Did I tell y'all I signed my lease over? Oh, girl, I signed my lease again, girl. Right, you said she wasn't scared because she didn't call the police. Did I tell you I signed my lease over? Oh, girl, I signed my lease over, y'all. Oh. Jada, I know, child. Girl, I ain't moving, at least for another year. Okay. I talk all that shit, girl. As I told y'all, I know how I get something. I be talking all that shit like, fuck these apartments, I'm moving this guy. I'm tired of these motherfucking ghetto-ass motherfuckers stealing shit. Girl, I just signed my lease over today, girl. Girl. So yeah, girl, we're gonna be here for another 12 months, girl. Oh, girl. Girl, I don't know. Girl, the only way I can move. Listen, I can't move to New York until I can. Girl, I can't move to New York until I can afford to live where I want to live. Yes. When someone meets aggression with aggression, doesn't mean they're not scared. Fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And I think that's what people are trying to like. That's something I don't think because she didn't go to the police or because y'all think she didn't go to human resources, even though I think she did go to production, that means she wasn't scared. Because it was too many of y'all on the internet saying she was scared that night. You know how many people were on the internet saying that she was scared that night? So y'all went from saying she was scared to though she actually wasn't really scared. It is what it is. Again, I'm not mad that Kenya got fired or put on pause. It is what it is. You show somebody sucking dick down to the job. It is what it is. But what I'm saying is Britt should have also been fired too. That's what I'm saying. They both should have been said, okay, well, girl, here go your pink slip, and here go your pink slip, because y'all both acting a goddamn fool. We might see y'all season 17. They both should have been gone. Both. But quiet as it's kept, if Britt would have been gone when she threatened Kenya with that gun, then Kenya wouldn't have showed her no pictures of sucking dick. If we gonna be honest, if Britt would have been gone after she showed pictures, after she threatened Kenya with a gun, we wouldn't even got to the point where Kenya was showing her sucking dick down to the Kenya Moore salon. But at that point, they should have just let both of them go. They should have let both of them go. It shouldn't have just been Kenya. It should have been Britt and it should have been Kenya. I can acknowledge that Kenya shouldn't have done that. And for me, in my opinion, I don't like that Kenya did it. But it doesn't take away from the fact, well, not the fact, clearly it's not the fact, but it doesn't take away that both of them should have been terminated. If you're going to terminate Kenya, you need to terminate her too. They know they know a gun threat is real because they already know that if Britt pulled that something with one of them white bitches and 90210, they already know what the outcome would be. I don't even know why they're trying to play that game. They already know. I guarantee you, if Britt had pulled that stunt with Kathy, Kyle, Sutton, one of those rich white ladies down there, it would have been a different outcome. And every nigga on this live knows that. We going there tonight. Every nigga on this live knows that if Britt would have pulled that shit with one of those white women, we would have never even known Britt had a contract to begin with. And y'all know it. What happened to the new housewife, Britt Edie? Girl, we don't know who y'all talking about. Well, they said she was filming. Oh, no, ain't nobody filming ain't Britt Edie. Britt would have been gone that motherfucking night. And she would have never been heard of again. And that would have been the tea. But I'm just drinking a little wine. Or if she was a man. Aaliyah like to fuck with me. What you say? Race Q. Oh, yes. I'm so sad. Oh, girl. More like Kathy would have made Britt disappear. Okay. What's up, Jamie? That's me. Damn right, Britannica would have been gone the second she tried some shit like that on Kathy or Kyle. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That girl would have been gone, and y'all know that. So I don't know why the people trying to act like Britt pulling that stunt is not that big of a deal. Because if she would have done that shit up there in Beverly Hills, Britt would have been gone that same night. They would have went and got Britt's microphone, and said, "Oh, girl, you got to go." We seen what happens when they reward bad behavior. Bridgerton will repeat this behavior at some point, and the viewers will finally get it. They will. Not like that. It's gonna take 10 years, like it did with Porsha, but they'll finally get it. Girl. Got my eye keep running, child. I don't know why my eye running, y'all. The people gonna think I'm down here crying, honey. She would have been gone. She would have been gone. It would have been no ifs, ands, buts about it. It would have been no, oh, she was messing with me. She said what she said. She was hazing me. Britt wouldn't have been even able to come to the World Wide Web and even give a statement because it would have been no statement. Bravo would have come out and said, we don't have an employee by the name of Britt Edie. We don't know what y'all talking about. Or whatever scenario happened has been dealt with and she's no longer an employee. Britt wouldn't have filmed the next day and on out. I guarantee you Britt would have been on scene the next day. That contract would have been ripped up and done. Hello? Hello? You can't, come on. Baby, you can't even. Let me tell you something. You can't even talk about Kyle and whether or not she over there, girl, eating pussy or not. Girl, she's trying to keep that under wrap. So I'm saying, the girl, you think you gonna threaten Kyle with a pistol or whip? Kyle meeting up with the girls talking about. I don't want you talking about my goddamn girl talking about Morgan, baby. She don't want to be a part of the show. You think you're gonna come on the show and threaten me? We all see how comfortable other housewives feel. We'll also see how comfortable other housewives feel with her around if she makes it to BravoCon. Girl, I wanna see if Britt come to BravoCon. I'm gonna say, Britt, girl, hey girl, how you doing, Britt? Girl, why everybody don't like you no more? That's what I want to ask. I want to ask Britt. Hey, Britt, girl, I got no issues with you, sister. Hey, how you doing? But I want to know why everybody stopped liking you. Because why is it everybody don't like you except for Porsha, and Porsha don't count? Everybody done turned their back on you, Britt. What happened, sister? I don't think Britt coming back next season. Well, she did say she don't get along with females. That's what she said. That's what she called y'all. Porsha don't count. Girl, you know, so can I say something, y'all? Can I say something? I see so many people online talking about Porsha ain't got no storyline and Porsha can't anchor the show. I just want to say, I told y'all so. I said that Porsha cannot anchor a show. I have been telling y'all that. Now I see everybody on Twitter in the comment section saying, girl, why is Porsha on the show? Go to Twitter and just look at the comments. I said Porsha cannot anchor a show. I said a few weeks ago, Porsha is giving friend of. I said all of this. I said Porsha cannot anchor a show because Porsha could not anchor her own show. And if you can't anchor the show with your title, with your name in the title, there's no way you're going to be able to rally 6 or 7 bitches. Girl, it ain't going to happen. Now, before Kenya lost her goddamn mind, girl, before Kenya lost her goddamn mind, girl, and saw red. Oh, girl, my sister saw red, girl. When I tell you Kenya saw red, I said, oh, Kenya, no. I'm not gonna lie. Girl, I was like, oh, don't do it, Miss Celie. I was like, no, Miss Celie, don't do it, Miss Celie. Oh, Miss Celie, don't do it. She ain't worth it. She ain't worth it. She ain't worth it. I was like, Kenya, no. I was like, Kenya, no. Yeah, that's what Kenya did. Hold up, y'all. Girl, we drinking tonight, girl. This what Kenya did, girl. Hold up. let me get my poster for y'all. Baby. I said, oh no, Kenya. I said, oh no, Kenya. Baby, I was over here rocking back and forth. And I said, don't do it, Kenya. Don't do it. I said, no, Miss Celie, she ain't worth it. She ain't worth it. She ain't worth it. I said, don't do it. I said, Kenya, don't do it. I said, Kenya, don't do it. I said, Kenya, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, sister. Don't do it. And then Kenya said, who is this hoe? I said, oh, God. I said, oh, God. She's starting. She said the nose job, the fillers, a new face. I said, oh, God, no. I said, she about to do it. I said, don't do it, sister. Don't do it. I said, she ain't worth it. I said, she ain't worth it. I said, she ain't worth it. She ain't worth it. She ain't worth it. Then she said, this hoe be sucking dick. And then the screen went blank. The screen went black, baby. I said, oh my God, she did it. When Kenya blew that dust, I knew what time it was. Bitch, when Kenya held that poster board up and said, who is this hoe? I said, oh my God. Oh God. I said, she did it. I said, she did it. I said she did it. When I tell you, I said, oh girl, I couldn't stop her from doing it. I tried to because I didn't want her to do it. I didn't want her to do it. I didn't want her to do it, but girl, I couldn't do nothing about it. I tried to stop her. I said, oh girl, she doing it, bitch. When that bitch held that first poster board up and said, who is this hoe? I said, oh my God. Girl, let's listen to it. Hold up. I said, this bitch is crazy. Do I still got it? Let me see if I still got it, baby. She said, who is this hoe? She said, baby, she told me to find out who she was, and I did. She said, who is this bitch? I found out who the bitch really is. I got anxious once I saw that purple dress. Bitch, I got anxious when I tell you my sister was back there, baby. Bitch, let me tell y'all something. When I tell you my sister was back there, hold up, girl. We about to get drunk tonight. Hold up. We having a good time tonight. Hold up, y'all. Girl, we about to get drunk tonight, y'all. When I say I saw my sister back there, and I think she had a big cup too. Bitch. Bitch. I saw my sister back there, girl. You know, Kenya really my sister. Because we not close in age. She old enough to be my big sister. Babe, I saw Kenya back there throwing, I think that was 1800 or either motherfucking either it was 1800 or Patron. It was 1800 or Patron, baby. I saw Kenya back there throwing something. She'll fix her hair. Baby, then she took another shot. And so this bitch is fucked up. I said, oh, girl. And baby, she was sitting there. She was sitting there. Bitch. She was sitting there and Britt walked in and she was like, this bitch about to lose her job. This bitch about to lose her job. Bitch, when Britt walked in and Kenya was sitting there and that punk was sitting behind her and Kenya was sitting there like this. I said, oh, she about to get fired. She already know. As soon as Britt walked in and Kenya was sitting there like this, I said, oh, this bitch about to get fired. She already know. Baby, she went to the back, bitch. She started taking shots. I said, oh, sister. Yeah. I said, oh, sister. She knew baby, Kenya knew she was about to get fired. Baby, Kenya knew she was about to get fired. Yeah. Kenya knew she was about to get fired, baby. I said, oh, no, sister. Oh. Girl. No, on some real shit. Can I say something, though? And I know y'all, this is the thing. And I know some of y'all about to get mad at what I'm about to say. I think the same thing, too. I think once the dust settles, I think that people are going to, girl, this is going to sound fucked up. I think that people are going to appreciate that scene. Because I think for me, even, I think that night, it was like a roller coaster. I was in disgust. I was. But like I also said, I can understand. What's up, Helen? Yes. What's up, Helen? I want to give a shout out to Helen. Helen has been rocking with me since the beginning, since I started this channel. I think Helen was the first comment I saw on my YouTube. I think that's what it was. I think she was the first person to leave a comment, and I always remember Helen's name. So I want to give a special shout out to Helen been here through my ignorant ass ways. Ghetto, gutter, snipe ways of talking and thinking. So shout out to Helen for holding me down, sister girl. Baby, let me tell you something. Hold up. I always catch it. Okay. Just between us, cousin, that ish was iconic as fuck. I'm telling y'all. So this is what I think. I could understand because if y'all noticed, the girls were in disgust too. They were that night. Wonder if Kenya watched the scene with us on Sunday. She probably did. The girls were in disgust, right? Heavenly said it was iconic. It really was. Good girl. let me say something. The girl, let me stop reading the comments for a second. I gotta get my point out. The girls were in disgust that night. And I get it because I was too. I was like, girl, this is too much. Kenya, why did you just do that, right? But I think that once it kind of settled down, I don't think they gave a fuck. They didn't. And the reason why I know they didn't give a fuck is because they were all in Kenya's live. That day she went live, that bullshit live she gave, you know that live was bullshit. The live she gave when she went live on Instagram, Shamia was in the live, Porsha was in the live. I think Drew was in the live. I don't think Kelly was in the live though. But I think once they was like, girl, okay, girl, it is what it is. We don't even care. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think that once the dust settles, I think that most people will be, once they rewatch it, once the hatred that people have for Kenya leaves, they'll say, okay, girl, it is what it is. But the more I watched it, the scene was actually low-key hilarious. Girl, not because of what Kenya did. When you factor in the commentary from Kelly, girl, even when when Porsha said, "What is this?" Porsha is funny. I wish I liked Porsha. When Kenya pulled the first cardboard up and Porsha said, "What is this?" Girl, I was thinking in my head, bitch, you about to find out. We all. She was like, "What is this?" Yeah, she was fixing her shot. Hold on. I'm sorry. And she was fixing her dress, and Kenya was pulling out the muscle. Y'all have to go back and watch it. I'm telling y'all, the shit is fucking hilarious. It really is. I'm sorry. Britt walking in and Kenya sitting there like this. I can't even talk. Hold on. I'm sorry. Y'all know I think everything is funny though. I laugh at everything. When Britt walked in and Kenya was sitting there like this. That's how this bitch. Anyways, girl, I'm gonna leave it alone. But I do think that when people watch it back, right now everybody trying to be all high and mighty, even though people not. Girl, not everybody so, oh my God, it's just so horrible. Is it really horrible, girl? Girl. The whole scene was, like I'm telling y'all, and you go back and watch it, the scene was pure comedy. It really, really was. Like, it really, really was. It really, really was. Oh, girl. Hold up. Oh, I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Hello. Anyways, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. When Britt said to Kelly, "Oh, she was like, "Oh, let's go." Girl, I thought it was funny because it's not funny. Y'all have to go back and watch this scene. When Kelly walked out, it was like, "Oh, let's go." But you got Kenya literally in calling her a hoe. So I know Britt probably didn't mean it in that way, like the way Kenya meant. When she said, "Don't come for me," and they said, "Unless I send for you," and Kenya said, listen. When she said, "Don't come for me," and then they said, "Unless I send for you," and she said, "Thank you." Bitch, when I tell you the way I screamed, listen, I didn't notice. I'm telling y'all, I didn't notice any of this the first time I watched. I didn't. I think because I was waiting for the moment to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't catch all of this stuff until I rewatched it. You know, when Kenya said, "Don't come for me," and then the people said, "Unless I send for you," and then she said, "Thank you." Bitch, baby, the way I was in this apartment screaming at the top of my lungs. She said, "Give a homeless." When she's on get a flowers to a homeless man, give them to the homeless. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. What do you think Nene's and Sheree's reaction would have been? Girl, comedy, pure gold. Thank you, Patricia. Girl, everything. We would have had memes for days. Girl, I was nervous too. Girl, I'm not gonna lie, girl. I was nervous. I was really nervous. I was really, 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 really nervous, girl. That shit was crazy. Oh, girl. The shit was a mess, but it was funny as hell to me. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all really have to. I keep saying this, but y'all really have to go back and watch it, girl, because it's just like comedy to me. It really, really is. Oh, baby. I said, oh no. Excuse me. Anyways, it is what it is. This is what it is, y'all. Kenya showed the girl sucking dick she shouldn't have. But I still don't believe that Kenya should have been reprimanded and Britt wasn't. I think that Bravo moves the line. I think the viewers move the line. I do. I think that the viewers, they get upset over Candace saying, "Yo mama." They get upset and want Candace gone because they say Candace threw a machete at Ashley, even though Ashley had to look over and see. She threw a machete. She threw a knife at Ashley. Well, girl, thank you, Dina B. This is why I be so confused as somehow the people think. Because one minute y'all say you should get your ass whooped for talking shit. Right? Because that's what y'all said about Candace. Y'all said that Candace deserved to get her ass whooped for talking shit to Monique. That's what y'all said. Even though Candace was across the table talking about good night, right? And for the life of me, I don't understand how people can grasp or say that Candace deserved to get her ass whooped for talking shit. But then when Candace throws what some people say it was a machete. Girl, I said, baby, they said she threw a machete at. Girl, they said she threw a machete at Ashley. They said she threw a machete, baby. If you go back and watch the scene, I know 100% factual. Girl, Ashley had to even look when the knife landed. Because this is literally the way that Candace threw the knife. Like this. Candace threw the knife like this. And then Ashley had to look and see what a knife landed. But Aaliyah, I agree with everything you said. But that's not the truth. The moral of the story is Kenya overplayed her hand, which is true. Norm production don't protect her, which is true. Britt was wrong for making threats. It's true. She tried to apologize. No, she did not. No, she didn't. 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 This is what Britt said. Let me remind y'all what Britt said. And this is how I know those scenes were shot after and they included them in the show. Because Britt came down to the internet and said, it's never a good feeling being targeted or hazed by someone I thought would embrace me into a new circle. This is what she said. This is what she said. This is what she said on the World Wide Web. It's never a good feeling being targeted or hazed by someone I thought would embrace me into a new circle that I never met. For the record, I've never once had possession of any weapons or threatened anyone ever. Let me repeat that again. For the record, I've never once had possession of any weapons or threatened anyone ever. Now, I'm going to start over just in case y'all didn't hear me, because this is what she actually said. This is what she said when people were dragging Kenya. Because this is what happens. People already think that Kenya is a shit starter. So when this shit happened, Britt came out and said this, and the World Wide Web was set ablaze. And everybody said that Kenya was at fault because the girl came out and said that I ain't even said nothing to this girl. I ain't did nothing to this girl. And because people have this image of Kenya in her head, they automatically believed Britt. And they said that Kenya was fucking with that girl. Because this is what Britt said. It's never a good feeling being targeted or hazed by someone I thought would embrace me into a new circle that I never met. For the record, I've never once had possession of any weapons or threatened anyone ever. That's what she said. This is what she said. I've never even been to jail in fight or even had much of a speeding ticket. That's not in my character. This is what she said. I am hurt by the narrative that's being displayed. Wrong is wrong. And I'm going to tell you why I think she said this. Because even though she went to Kenya's salon, she tried to apologize at the event. It don't matter because you already told us that you didn't do shit. It don't matter what she tried to do at the event. I'm telling y'all why. Because more than likely, this is what I think. Now, I don't know this to be factual. This is what I think. I think that production told her, girl, we got you. You're going to be good. So Britt goes to Kenya's salon to apologize and to say, hey, girl, I'm so sorry. But you've already told us on the internet that you didn't do nothing and that you were hazed. That's what you said. And I believe it's because production told her, girl, you good, just go apologize. And girl, we're not even going to show what you said about the guns. That's what I believe happened. She thought that she was going to be protected by production also. But production had a bigger fish to fry, which was Kenya Moore. So now Britt looks crazy. And it was a butter knife. Thank you. Thank you, Cole. The Conti Cole. I like that name. That's what I think. Again, I don't know if that's what happened. I just think that's what happened. Because, girl, you come to her salon instead of trying to meet up with her. But when this stuff was playing out in real time, girl, you got on the internet and said that you ain't did nothing. That's what you said. And then when we watch the show, we see that you actually lied. And we see that Kenya ain't been fucking with you. That's what we see. But there's a good chance, I feel, that production told her, girl, we got you. Don't worry about nothing. Good evening, Rodney and cousins. I hope y'all are having a good night. I might be quitting my job in the morning, so hopefully I can get a laugh tonight. Oh my God! Production messing with me on my job too. Baby, listen, let me tell you something, girl. If that's what you need to do in order to have some peace, girl, sometimes quitting your job is the best thing. I'm not mad at it. Hello? It's going to work out, baby girl. Thank you so much. And you got this, baby girl. Kenya is starting a YouTube because Kenya has not been allowed to tell her side of the story. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but everybody has confessionals except for Kenya. So again, here we go with Kenya not being able to tell her side. Britt has told her side. Britt came down to the internet and told her side. Britt is more than likely going to be able to tell her side on the show. Kenya doesn't have a platform to tell her side. So the best thing she can do is probably start a YouTube. If Andy is not going to invite her down to Watch What Happens Live, then where is Kenya going to be able to tell her story on her own terms? That's all I'm saying. Porsha started a YouTube. I don't think there's anything wrong with her doing what she's doing. Because Kenya hasn't been able to tell her side. Right. Everybody got a YouTube at this point. Shamil got a YouTube, Porsha got a YouTube, Heaven got a YouTube, Candy got a YouTube, girl. Like Carlos King got a YouTube, and he a whole fucking producer. He got a YouTube. Girl, YouTube is the thing, girl. I be trying to tell y'all to start y'all the YouTube page. Cool. I'm actually glad Candy's coming. Okay. Exactly. I hope Kenya can come to the reunion too. Come on, is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? Okay. Shout out to Nene Leakes. Is it a coincidence? Girl, I saw some of those. Girl, I'm not worried about no Porsha, girl. But yeah, it is what it is. You know. Again, believe it or not, I actually don't have a problem. I know some of y'all don't like Britt, but I really don't have a problem with Britt. I think that Britt got caught up in the situation. I mean, Britt still told a lie. Britt is still a liar. But I think that Britt, because this is gonna sound like I'm reading, I'm not reading. I think because Britt is so thirsty for fame and so thirsty to be a housewife, I think that she was willing to do whatever production told her to do. I think the bigger goal was to get Kenya out. And again, based off of what the producer said, it sounds like production has a lot of power. So I do believe production did use Britt. Again, it doesn't take away from what she did. Just like at the end of the day, I can defend Kenya all day long, but Kenya still did what she did, right? But I do believe that production used Britt to get at Kenya. And I really feel like that's why she came on the internet lying, because I think they told her, girl, we got you. But when it was all said and done, they said, girl, she's going to have to just deal with her own goddamn self. Girl. And I think they showed it for what it was, right? And I think Britt is probably looking at the show like I look like a goddamn fool. I know Britt is probably watching this show like, oh my fucking God. Girl, I look insane. I look like the crazy single black female who wants to be best friends with a homecoming queen. Because that's how Britt came across. And then when she started using her catchphrases, I didn't even send for her. I said, oh, girl. Right then and there, I said, okay, girl, you too. Girl, you can't even disconnect yourself from fan versus cast. You think she don't care? I can see her probably not caring either. Okay, can I get a hug? But, you know, I love Kenya. That's my sister. And I'm going to stick beside her. I don't care what nobody say. I think that, you know, she literally gave it away with Kenya. Thank you. She literally gave it away with Kenya's catchphrase. I swear to God. I was like, okay, girl, get off my... When she said Kenya's catchphrase, I said, oh, girl. I said, girl. Hey, Marjan, thank you. That was like the giveaway to me. I was like, oh, girl, like she a fan. Like, she a fan for real. Like, girl, you on her quoting, girl, like, you're literally quoting this woman's catchphrase. Girl. And this is the one who you like, you didn't give me a hug, Kenya. You didn't give me a hug, Kenya. Girl, like you can't even disconnect from like the fandom. Like you can't even stop being a fan and realize that you're a part of the cast now. Because you so caught up into like Kenya. You're so caught up in Kenya that girl, you can't even just realize that girl, I'm actually a castmate. Like I'm a housewife. Like I ain't gotta be a fan. Like I can be a fan, but I ain't gotta be a fan. Like, girl, like you a fan. Girl, like you a fan. Like you can't even just be a fan of the show and then come on and be like, oh hey y'all, how y'all doing? Oh yeah, I watch y'all all the time. But anyway, you know, like she like a fan. Like, girl, you've been watching since season 5. You've been watching since season 4 or 5. When can you come? Girl, you've been watching season 5, fan. Oh, girl. Oh, sister. Oh, girl. Oh, girl, she's like, she wants to be like, she wants, girl, she acting like she, oh, girl. Girl, it's like Eminem. Remember Stan? Girl, we're going to start, girl, we're gonna start calling Brit Stan. Girl, I just got, baby, girl, we're going to start calling Brit Stan. Remember Eminem? Remember Eminem had that song called Stan? Girl, do y'all remember Eminem had that song called Stan? We're going to start calling Brit Stan. Because, girl, that's who she is. Eminem had a song called Stan. Go listen to it. Girl, we're going to start calling Brit Stan, baby. Oh, that's what the term Stan. I never knew that. I swear to God, I never knew that. That's where the term Stan come from. Okay. We're going to start calling okay. Baby, because that's what it's giving, girl. It's giving, girl. We supposed to be best friends. It's giving, girl. I thought you was gonna be my best friend. You supposed to be my best friend. I got your pictures on the wall when you was Miss USA. And this how you gonna treat me, Kenya? You're not gonna give me a hug? Girl, I don't even know you. Girl, I gave you a hug. Girl, I said, hey. Girl, I said, hey. Girl, what else you want me to say? Girl, that was a tap. Girl, what you want me to say? Girl, I said, hey, girl. What else you want me to say, girl? Baby. You're right. Right. Baby. But yeah, shout out to Brit though. For real. Shout out to Brit. Right. Girl, like damn. Don't shoot me, girl. Girl, all I did was give you a little pat. You like, girl, you didn't give me a full hug. Because I just looked, Britt apologized to Kenya's face at the event, tried handing the flower. She said sorry. Britt tried to apologize. Ken ignored her. Thank you, Kim Cat. No, I think that was Britt playing in folks' faces. You can't. You're apologizing, but you're also saying that you didn't do it though. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And like I always say, and y'all know I have been stern in this. Just because you apologize don't mean I gotta accept your apology. She still did it, but she lied though, Kim Cat. Like she lied. Because she told us she hadn't did anything. So what are you apologizing for if you didn't do anything? She told us that Kenya hazed her and that she never threatened Kenya. So if she told us that she never did anything and Kenya hazed her, then what are you apologizing for unless you did something? And just because you apologize to me doesn't mean I have to accept it. I've been saying that for years on my channel. I've always said I don't like when housewives accept apologies because what happens is they accept the apology and they're not over it. Britt is wrong for the threat, but she did apologize. I get what you're saying, Kim, but I think what I get what you're saying. She apologized, but she apologized for what? Because she said she didn't do nothing. That's what she told us. She told us that she was hazed by Kenya. And she told us that she never had a weapon on her, even though she told Kelly that she did. And she told us that she never threatened Kenya. So her apology, what was she apologizing for? And even if you apologize to me, I don't have to accept your apology because you apologize. I think people should not accept apologies unless you're really ready to move on. And I said this for years on my channel. What happens in housewife world is that these people are forced to accept apologies, and then the viewers get upset. Me and you, everybody, we get upset because the first thing we're going to say is, well, you accepted her apology. Well, it's because you force people, not y'all, but people force folks to accept apologies when they really don't want to accept the apology. Because guess what? I'm still mad, bitch. I'm still mad at what you did to me. I'm still mad at what you said to me. But we have to accept, we're like, and I think that's one of the things, just take the housewives out of it. I think that's one of the things that all of us are taught from young age. Have y'all noticed, have you thought about how, like, even in real life, how people tell you she apologized? Okay. And then you're forced to accept the apology. Even though you're probably still angry at what this person did to you, but you're forced to accept the apology. Or you're made to feel bad because you did not accept the apology. When the fact of the matter is you should not accept the apology unless you're ready to move forward. That's it. I'm not accepting your apology unless I'm ready to move on. And if it takes, let me tell you, and this is a real true story. Me and one of my best friends fell out. One of my college roommates. We lived together. I would give her my money for the rent, the light bill. She wasn't paying the rent. She would pay like a portion of the rent. Anyways, we eventually, sometimes she would pay, like our rent was $570. Thank you, apologies and are meaningless without accountability. Come on, baby. Apologies are meaningless without accountability. Come on. What was Britt supposed to do to rectify after she made a terrible choice of volatile words? Girl, she should have been reprimanded she should have been fired. She didn't have to do that. She should have been fired. Because according to y'all said that Kenya should have called the police. So if the police should have got involved, then that means that she definitely should have been fired. Hello? But anyways, so listen. What was I saying? when this first dropped during filming, there was a post, I think, Facebook, where someone stated they witnessed her threatening Powell at a gas station years ago. Oh, baby. Thank you, baby. I don't know nothing about that, baby. I don't know, baby. Baby, I don't know nothing about that. I ain't got nothing, baby. I wasn't that. I ain't got nothing to do with me, baby. Production aside, what else was supposed to happen, girl? Stay out my face. Production doesn't hire the cast. That is true. But anyway, so what was I saying? What was I saying? What was I saying, y'all? I forgot that fast. Oh, about my friend from college. It took me about 10 years to get over what happened between me and my roommate. It really did. It took me a very long time because I was very, very hurt. Like, hurt because this was like my friend of all friends. Like, she was at the top of the list. Britt went to Shamia's house saying she was so upset she couldn't sleep, then turned around and said nothing happened. Come on. Britt went to Shamia's house saying she was so upset she couldn't sleep, then turned around and said nothing happened. Thank you, Dina B. That's what I'm saying. Like, girl, the apology didn't mean nothing because she lied. She lied. She lied. Anyways, so all I'm saying is, and then one day, and it's so crazy because I ran into her a few times after that, after we stopped being friends. And every time I saw her, I was still ready to slap the shit out of her. Of course I didn't, of course. But in my head, I was like, ugh. But I would just play it off like, oh, hey, what's up? You know, and I remember one time I used to work at Ace Cash Express, and I remember she came in one time and cashed her check because she was working at a restaurant. And she didn't know I worked there. And when I tell you, it was both like both of us had just saw a ghost. It was the weirdest interaction. But then one day I saw her at Nordstrom, and I was at work, and she was pregnant. And I was on the second floor. No, I was on the first floor, and she was on the second floor, and I saw her, and I looked up, and I said, oh my God. And we waved, and I said, I'm coming up. And then I went up, and when I went up there, she was like, I did not think you were coming up here. I was like, yeah, girl. And we talked for like 10, 15 minutes. And right then and there, I knew I was over it. And she had got married, you know. So all I'm saying is, when people are over it, they're over it, right? And whether it takes you 8 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, girl, you got to let people move at their own pace. I understand with this being a show, it's not the same because the girls are expected to kind of move at a pace that's not reality because they have to kind of like keep the storyline. So I get it's not the same. But girl, you're not going to come to me a day after. You're not going to come to me a week after you threaten me with a motherfucking gun, bitch. You're going to have to, girl, girl, even if I got to treat you like Giselle treated, you know, the dark-skinned girls. Oh, the way that Giselle treated the darkies. Oh, girl. Even if I got to treat you the way Giselle treated the darkies on Potomac and I just talk to you for the rest of the season, then that's what I'm going to have to do. But girl, don't come up to my face after you threaten me with a gun. Don't. Please don't come up to my face after you threaten me with a gun, talking about, oh, girl, hey, girl, I'm so sorry, girl. You don't get the fuck up out of my motherfucking face. Girl, you just threatened me with a gun the other day. The fuck? We do take accountability. Why? How we have? Tasha, tell me how we haven't taken accountability. Tell me. Tell me, Tasha. Is that Miss Tasha Mack? Shout out to Tasha Mack. Wasn't that Tasha's name on the game? She was my favorite character, girl. Kelly insinuating Bria's words didn't mean nothing when her hubby threatened her in court and she got security. Wasn't that just words too? Come on. That's how you know the girls be full of shit. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? Come on, the receptionista. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? Because Kelly, her black ass was just in the courthouse the other day talking about how her husband threatened her and she had to go get security. That's the same thing your ghetto ass friend did to Kenya. So if words don't mean nothing, then why you got that big ass 6'3" nigga walking behind you if words don't mean nothing? Because it damn sure meant something. It damn sure meant something. Nah, no. But Kelly lied, because Kelly did hear it. But Kelly lied. If we're gonna be honest, we like Kelly, but Kelly lied. Because she said it when you were right there inside the building, and she also said it when you were right there standing beside her outside. So Kelly told a goddamn lie. She literally said it twice in front of Kelly. She literally said it twice. She said it inside the building, and she said it also outside. That's a lie, though. Kelly did lie. I didn't say she. Girl, but you're insinuating as if she didn't. Because when you said, you told me I insinuate, she said she didn't hear it. But you know she heard it, though. So there's no reason to say she didn't say it, because we know she heard it. But she heard it. She heard it. And the point still remains, even if that's your friend still just threatened somebody with a gun. That's the point. Even if that's your friend, girl, even if that's your friend just threatened somebody with a gun, just like your husband threatened your ass in the courtroom with a gun. Hello? Again, and like I said earlier, if it was a man and a woman, people will understand it. You cannot threaten me with a gun and then show up to my event to apologize. At that point, your presence is a threat. Thank you. Like I said earlier, people know the difference, because if a man was threatening a woman, they would know. Just like Kelly's husband threatened her. Hold on, I'm texting my sister. Hold up, y'all. Girl. Girl, I keep telling y'all. I've been telling y'all people bring up Cam Fields in that chair. I told y'all. I told y'all people love to bring up that Cam Fields in the chair, girl. Kenya always apologizes. Kenya always apologizes. Phaedra started that beef with Kenya. Well, you know, Kenya flirted with Apollo, then Apollo picked her up and threw her in the pool. But we only know this because we only know that it was a problem because of the way that Kenya looks. That's all it was. Y'all don't remember Phaedra? Do y'all remember Phaedra? But the thing with Kenya is when Kenya apologizes, either she doesn't do it again or she tries not to. That apology is changed behavior. Apology doesn't mean anything if the behavior hasn't changed. So when she apologized to Kim Fields, did she pull somebody else's chair from underneath him? Right, right, right. Can you? I mean, that's how y'all see it. This is the thing. I think that people have this idea of who Kenya is, but who y'all think about Kenya is really Porsha, and I'm not gonna change my mind. While Kenya might say your husband is fine, and she might flirt with your husband, Porsha actually gonna fuck your husband and marry him. You see what I'm saying? I think that's a tad bit of a difference. I do think it's a difference between flirting with someone, married or not, and actually fucking somebody and marrying a husband. I think that's a tad bit of a difference. I think most people would say that. Right. Right. Kenya will show a picture of you sucking dick that's already on the internet, but Porsha gonna come down to the show and say, I was told that you and your husband was gonna take me back to a sex dungeon and drug me and rape me. But then people say that Kenya is the one who is the villain. Porsha will get some motherfucking plates, baby. Porsha gonna pick up some motherfucking porcelain, bitch. Porsha gonna pick up some and be throwing that shit across the motherfucking room, baby. Baby, when I tell you, baby, y'all got the wrong, baby. I need y'all to really open your eyes and really get to the real villain, baby. Baby, the real villain is Miss Porsha Williams, baby. Because Porsha is fucking your husband. Porsha is gonna tell the people that you tried to arm me. Girl, you was gonna arm me, not tried to. You was gonna arm me. Porsha gonna pick up some motherfucking and throw it across the motherfucking room at your ass. Girl, I can't make this shit up. Y'all be making stuff up in y'all head. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. Girl, Peach Juice is the one her apologies don't mean anything. Because Peach Juice would apologize about fighting and then fight again. Apologize about fighting and then fight again. Apologize about fighting and then fight again. And not only will she try to fight you, she's gonna try to fight your mama too. Girl, that's who says apologies and don't mean them. Okay? If I was Kelly, I would fall back from Brit. If you act like a YN when drunk, I would distance myself because Brit might be beefing with BMF girl. Okay, Black Media. Okay, BMF girl, bye. Thank you. Like, I just think that the people who think that Kenya is, well, I'm not saying that Kenya is innocent because she's not. But Kenya ain't nowhere as near as bad as y'all favorite housewife. You're not going to get me to believe that Kenya flirting with Apollo is that big of a deal when y'all let Nene off the hook. The only reason why people don't care, and I'm not saying this to sound mean. The only reason why people don't ever bring up Nene flirting with the married man is because of the way that Nene looked at the time. We just got to call it for what it is. Kenya was a beauty queen. So because Kenya looks the way she looks, it's going to be a problem. Because flirting with a married man is flirting with a married man. Right? So if Kenya is wrong for flirting with Apollo, then Nene is wrong for flirting with Peter. Because they were both married men. But nobody cares about Nene flirting with Peter because of the way that Nene looked. People care about Kenya because Kenya won a whole goddamn beauty pageant. That's why people always on Kenya. That's it. And that's what I mean by people are not consistent. And the line is always moving. That's all. You can't be upset about Kenya flirting with a coworker's husband, but then there are people who didn't care about Porsha fucking and marrying a coworker's husband. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it don't make sense. Like, it don't make. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's not the truth, Aaliyah. I'm not supporting Frick or Frack, but I will say Kenya plays her villain role and then wants to act scared afterwards like Sutton. That's a lie. One thing about Sutton, Kenya ain't never tried to act scared or run away. One thing Kenya gonna do, Kenya gonna talk shit during the goddamn season, and she's also gonna get to the reunion and also talk mucho grande shit. Sutton talks shit during the season and get to the reunion and don't say nothing. Kenya don't run away. She don't fake like she passing out. Kenya ain't never got up and ran away from the stage. That's not the truth. Kenya sit in her chair the whole goddamn time. And she talks shit at the reunion and during the season. That's not true. Sutton is the one who gets up and leaves and fakes heart attacks and all that shit. And get to the reunion and be mute. Are we watching the same show? Are y'all watching the same show? Girl, y'all making up stuff now. That's what I be talking about. Y'all be making up stuff. Girl. Because I done seen Kenya get to the motherfucking reunion and take on Peter, Apollo, Phaedra, Nene, Porsha. Girl. All at one time. But her excuses are always, you tried to ruin my business. Always? That's her excuse always? Or was it this season? That's always? Girl. Come on, sister. Don't do that, sister. Sister, why are you doing that? That's what I be talking about, sister. Girl. I don't even care. Yeah, because I'm not even like y'all not even gonna like y'all don't even, Kenya does pull the victim role. Tell me a time when she tried to pull the victim role. And I'm gonna tell you whether she was lying or not. I can be honest. Tell me a time that Kenya tried to pull the victim role. Sorry, I wasn't looking. I'm sorry. Whenever someone calls her out, like the Bolo situation, why does she have to expose and ruin the fun because once she wanted to slut shame somebody? Well, do you remember what happened prior to that? The night before at the dinner table? I don't think is that an example of Kenya trying to act like a victim because she exposed. Can we be honest, y'all? Can we be honest? Girl, I don't even want to say that. I'm not gonna say that. Like even now, and that's what I'm saying. Even now, people don't want to believe that Kenya can be a victim because I think that in a lot of people's heads that Kenya is the villain. So there's no way that Kenya can be called when Kenya called Tanya a cunt. Okay. I don't think that's not an example of Kenya trying to be a victim. And I also think that if we're being honest, even Eva and Cynthia said that it was weird for Tanya to do what she did because Tanya and Kenya actually had a relationship outside of the show. So Kenya probably felt in that situation, girl, we've been fucking with each other outside of the show. So why are you trying to even play this game and embarrass me on this show when we've had conversations about fertility? Because that's what happened. And then Tanya got on the show. It's Tanya time, got on the show trying to play in Kenya's face. That's what happened. So we gotta tell a full story. That's what happened. Kenya does stuff like when it gets real, she act like she didn't do nothing. I mean, girl, give me an example. Give me an example, Miss Tasha Mack. Sonya in Jamaica. I don't know Sonya in Jamaica. What happened with Sonya in Jamaica? Talk about Sonya who always pulled Kenya to the principal's office. What happened with Sonya and Kenya in Jamaica? I remember Ross cussing at Sonya. I remember Ross cussing at Kenya in Sheree. I remember that. That's true. Kenya following Porsha after she told her to stop. No, that is true. Kenya was fucking with Porsha in that situation. No, she definitely was. 100%. 100% she was fucking with Porsha in that scene. She was. She was. That's one. That's 1 out of 10 seasons. When I do remember, I remember Kenya hanging up the phone, but I don't remember. I promise I don't remember. I remember Kenya hanging up the phone like, "Bitch, get off my phone." But I don't remember the other stuff. I honestly don't. Hold up, y'all. But I'll take your word at it though. Okay. Girl, that's what I'm saying. Girl, thank you. Everybody, well, listen, everybody pretty much agrees Kenya shouldn't have flirted with Apollo. We gotta let Sister Circle go. Girl. Anytime she's a victim, she never played one. Come on. Sorry, I'll make my friend. Thank you, Ivana. Thank you. Girl, you know, yeah, like I said, it's not any victim examples. It's more like villain type, silly stuff. Baby, the girl. Right. Right. Kenya getting Porsha kicked out of the party for dressing up as Babs, not trying to embarrass. I don't know what that means, baby. I don't know, baby. I don't know, baby. I don't know. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know, child. The way Atlanta going, girl, I could see them putting Atlanta on pause for real, for real. For real, for real. No, you can't do illegal stuff on TV and think there's no accountability. But the fact of the matter is, they've been doing illegal stuff on TV. I think that's the point. Joe Gorga literally showed a video of Danielle getting fucked on TV. Now, did they show it? No, just like they didn't show Kenya showing the poster of Brit swallowing dick. But there's a video of him passing the phone around. Hey, did y'all see Danielle's sex tape? They like that literally happened on Bravo. The only difference in the two is that there were people who were not cast members. And I think it's weird. Girl, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're comparing a threat of a gun violence to flirting with a pop. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's right. Sandoval and Ariane went to actual court for real revenge porn, but they didn't lose their jobs. Didn't they pass around something with the girl? What's her name? Rachel? Like, I don't know, girl. It is what it is. Rachel. And Rachel was suing them for revenge porn. Like, in real life. Did they lose their jobs because of it? Like, did they lose their jobs because Rachel actually sued them in real life over revenge porn? And I know that much. No, it's not. It is what it is. Did those white people lose their jobs when that white lady went down and filed a real lawsuit of revenge porn again? Did they really lose their jobs? Again. We moving the line. Can y'all just say that white people get away with shit that niggas can't get away with? That's it. And I understand that. And we're gonna have to just take it for what it is. Niggas can't do what white people do, and we know that. But it doesn't change what happened. Sandoval is not done. Sandoval, I know Tom Sandoval for a fact was just on Traders. So Sandoval is not done. And Ariana is America's sweetheart. That bitch was on Broadway. So that's not the truth. Ariana was literally hosting that show, Love Something. Remember that show, Love Something, Something, Something? The point is, Ariana or Tom did not lose their job due to revenge porn. They're recasting the entire show, Love Island USA. The point is, Tom or Ariana did not lose their jobs because of revenge porn. They did not lose their jobs because of revenge porn. At all. And it was a real bona fide lawsuit happening. And Tom went on to still work for Peacock. If anything, I guarantee you, if Ariana was willing to move on with Tom and film with Tom, they wouldn't have lost their jobs. But because I feel like they lost their jobs because Ariana didn't want to fuck with Tom no more. No one cared when Joe, Melissa, Kathy, and Richie joined the show behind Teresa's back just to attack and bully her for 4 seasons. Bravo was never fair. Thank you, Isma. I don't know what they got to do with revenge porn, but thank you, though. Yes, and Lala was pissed. I tuned in a little bit for Vanderpump Rules towards the end. And I can guarantee you that if Ariana would have gotten on board and started filming with Tom and the other people, they wouldn't have stopped Vanderpump Rules. I feel the reason why they stopped it was because of Ariana, whatever her name is. And because Ariana would not get on board to film. And Lala was pissed. But it's not like Ariana or Tom lost their jobs due to an actual case of revenge porn. Because again, Tom went on to film Traitors. And Peacock is also, I think, a part of NBC. So, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Anyways, y'all, it's midnight. It's time to go. Right. And now, listen. And then the gag is, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna let y'all go on this one. Then the gag is, we gonna suspend Kenya because we said she did revenge porn, but we gonna bring back the lady who told this other lady that the old co-worker and her husband was gonna take her back to a sex dungeon and rape her. Yeah. And not only are we gonna bring her back, she ain't got an answer to what she said or what she did. She ain't got to talk about it, but we're gonna bring her back and we're gonna replace Kenya with Phaedra. And Phaedra told Porsha that Candy and Tom was gonna take her back to their sex dungeon and rape her. And then Phaedra ain't even gotta talk about why she said what she said, who she heard it from, girl, why she said it. She ain't even gotta talk about it. Girl, I tell you, bitch. When I tell you Bravo is ghetto. When I tell you Bravo ain't nothing but Zeus wrapped up with a bow. Bravo ain't nothing but Zeus wrapped up with a pretty bow and some shiny wrapping paper. Girl, That's all Bravo is. And I have come to realize Bravo is ghetto as hell. The simple fact, let me tell y'all something how I know Bravo is ghetto. The simple fact that I have people, not I have people, but I have seen people on the internet say that they just got a code of conduct that they're enforcing. How are you a multi-million-dollar business, probably even billion-dollar business, with, girl, multi-million-dollar productions, and y'all are getting on the internet saying that they just got a code of conduct that they are starting to enforce? Girl, what the fuck? Taylor was getting abused on RHOBH and Bravo knew. Thank you, Isma. Like, what the fuck? Good. You know how insane it sounds to say that a multi-million-dollar company like Bravo, girl, they're just now starting to enforce the code of conduct. Girl, I can't make this shit up. I can't make it up. It's ghetto. It's gutter snipe. Girl, it's nothing but Zeus. It is. It is. Girl, it is. And that's just what it is. Girl, we can sit here and try to act like it ain't what it is, but we know what it is. All right, y'all. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. We've been on here since 8 o'clock. What, 9 o'clock? We've been on here since 9:15. All right. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Bye, y'all.